All right, YouTube, we got Reactor Hunt back in the building. Today we're looking at the most humiliating CFP losses of all time. Yo, the first 8 years, the semifinals were actually awful. I think there was like 1 or 2 actual good games. But yeah, we're gonna look at this video, see what those losses look like, man.
The college football playoffs where the best teams in the nation go at it, culminating in the most exciting, thrilling games. Wait a minute, hold up. In the last couple weeks, all that everyone's talking about is the blowouts we've been seeing, but remember,
Granted, we did see a couple fire games. The Texas-Arizona State game was pretty tough. Definitely a tough game. Georgia-Notre Dame, it wasn't super close, actually. But, yeah, some of these games right here, now, oh, my God, awful. Michigan State, Alabama,
guys,
abysmal.
It's been worse. Today, I'm on a journey to uncover the most humiliating loss in college football.
Yeah, Oregon
playoff
definitely got
history.
their chain
Spoiler,
snatched.
it's not the one you probably think. These games weren't just defeats, they were obliterations that left players, coaches, and fans searching for answers. If you love college
Ohio
football
State did
and
have
wanna
one of
see
those
more
too.
content like this,
They did
feel
get
free to
blown out in one of
subscribe
them
and
games.
hit that bell so you never miss another upload. I'll be taking 2 major things into consideration when making these judgments. First, the expectations or major things into consideration.
What's crazy is if bro didn't throw this pick six, I think they would have made it a close game. Like, it was 2 pick sixes on like back-to-back drives, completely sunk them.
When making these judgments. First, the expectations or context of the game, and finally, how it actually played out on the field. For example, SMU versus Penn State in 2024, 38-10 PSU wins, which was the biggest margin of victory in the 2024
Yeah, once
field.
that part, once
so
that
does
happened,
that make the most humiliating loss
over
this
with.
year go to SMU? Absolutely not. Everyone knew their chances were slim, they were on the road, and they were more than a touchdown underdog. Let's start with the one on top of everyone's mind. Yes, it belongs on the list, but not for the reasons you think.
This was bad because Oregon was my pick to win the Natty. I did not think they were going to come out this piss poor.
The 2024 Rose Bowl quarterfinal between Oregon and
though.
Ohio State. The first ever.
And unfortunately, Ohio State's probably going to win it, man. I'm about to delete Twitter.
8-1 upset. The Ducks' undefeated 13-0 Big Ten champion season was all for nothing, and no one saw it coming. Psych. Everyone knew the Ducks got the brunt of the brand new seeding format, essentially not getting.
They did get screwed. Definitely got hoed.
Rewarded at all for having the best regular season in college football and facing the red-hot Buckeyes. The nationwide belief in Oregon was so low that Ohio State was favored to win the game. In other words, how could this be the most humiliating loss in CFP history when it was predicted? Now, almost no one expected the blowout, and that's obviously why it's on the list. OSU led the game 34-0 in the second quarter, and let's be real, the game was over after the first quarter. Credit to Oregon for not laying down in the second half because they easily could have lost the game 48-0 and been crowned as the king in this video. If you thought this was bad, just wait until we talk about a team that didn't even manage a touchdown in their playoff game. The 2015 Cotton Bowl semifinal between number 3 Michigan State and number 2 Alabama. This loss was so bad.
This is kind of when you realize, like, yo, these Bama teams are like actually on a different level from everyone else. Except Clemson at the time.
It completely ruined their program. No, I'm just kidding. The truth is, this would be the last time they ever reached the playoffs before their program went on a downward spiral. This game was a matchup between 2 legendary coaches, Mike D'Antonio, and of course that random guy who works on College Game Day, Nick Saban. Who even is this guy? He doesn't know ball. Michigan State was supposed to put up a fight in this game. Although Bama would become the eventual national champ.
And high key though, 10-0 at half is kind of like, all right, we got a shot still, but 10-0 is actually completely different than 20-10. Say it's 20-10, even like 17-7. It's like, okay, we found some success on something, but when you have a goose egg, it's like, yo, we couldn't do a damn thing on them. So yeah, 10-point games aren't always made the same, if that makes sense.
The Spartans had a 12-1 record that season, winning the Big Ten while having 3 top 10 wins. Alabama also had some pretty impressive wins on their resume, including one against number 2 ranked LSU, and the Tide were favored by 10 in this game, including one against number 2 ranked LSU. and the
I get that's the punter, but
Tide were
that's
favored by
bad.
10 in this game. But the
That's
fact
bad,
that
yo.
MSU didn't score any points, it had to make the list. Alabama won this game 38-0, and forget a first down because at some points in this game, it didn't look like Michigan State could even move the ball 2 yards downfield. They finished with only 239 total yards, and quarterback Connor Cook threw 2 picks. Derrick Henry put up 2 touchdowns on the ground for quarterback Connor
This
Cook.
picture does look way worse than the
Derrick
video.
Henry put up
Like this, bro. The picture for this. Oh man, that actually let's look that up. Henry, MSU stiff arm. Like this picture of it. Like the picture of it makes it look like bro like really got like tossed out of there. The video's not as bad though. The video not as bad.
Put up 2 touchdowns on the ground for Bama. However, I'll assure you that most Spartan fans didn't really think they had a chance in this game, and considering the fact that Bama eventually won the title, this is not the most humiliating playoff game of all time. Shutouts are rare, but not unheard of. Yet there's one team that managed to lose so badly, it made fans throw their TVs out the window. I can already hear the whiners in the comments. The 2022 National Championship between TCU and Georgia is not the most humiliating playoff game of all.
I think the single stupidest thing that anyone ever talked about was like how we can't let teams in because look what happened at TCU. Like, my brother in Christ, they won a semifinal game to make it to the championship. It's not like they were just like handed there. Like they literally had to win a game to make it. So, and I'm a Michigan fan. Like, oh, I played for Michigan, former Michigan player, Michigan alumni. Yeah, like TCU earned their spot in this game. So I think that was always the stupidest talking point.
This is the biggest statistical blowout in national championship game history. It was 65-7 Georgia. I mean, come on. The Bulldogs scored on their first 6 possessions, and it was well over before halftime, but read between the lines. Everyone knew that Georgia was going to win and get their back-to-back titles. They were favored by 13 points, and TCU was in the midst of one of the greatest CFP Cinderella and one-hit wonder runs we had ever seen. They weren't even ranked to start the year, and if you told your friends they would make the Natty, you'd get laughed at and probably sent to a facility. The fact that they even beat Michigan in the semifinal was unreal. So, is 65-7 the way you want to go out in a national championship game? No, but for all things considered, just making it to that stage.
That is facts. I mean, shit, you got to make it there. If you make it there, you have an opportunity to compete. It's better than not making it there at all.
Against the UGA Stetson Bennett dynasty was a win for the Frogs. There's a national championship game that I actually think is more humiliating for one.
I'm trying to think. Probably not Oregon, Ohio State. I really don't know. Oh, it's going to be Bama, Ohio State, 2020. That's
and
what
let's talk about it. The 2018 Natty between number 1
Alabama makes sense.
and number 2 Clemson.
Makes sense. Yo, this Clemson team was a juggernaut. That was a god
Another
squad.
repeat of the 2016 championship where it was a tight contest. Remember, Bama had won in the previous season against Georgia, the famous Tua game. Was this game anywhere near as lopsided as 65-7? No, not at all. However, it was more humiliating because there were expectations.
It was close for a moment, though. Like,
almost never on the wrong
early
side.
on, it was kind of like, all right,
especially
we got a
when
game on
Saban
our
was in
hands,
his
and then
heyday. But this time, they were. The Tigers
total
were
belts
favored in this
ass.
contest by 5.5 points, but they laid an egg. A freshman quarterback named Trevor Lawrence carved up Bama's defense, going for 347 through the air with 3 passing tutties. Clemson led 31-16 at halftime, which is not the end of the world, but what really gets me is the fact that Alabama was held scoreless in the second half, which is unheard of for a Saban team and almost just feels wrong. Clemson won 44-16
quarterback
in a
sweep
game
with
that was
Tua, not the
humiliating
move,
for
coach.
Alabama because
That
they
ain't
didn't
it.
see it coming. So this must be the end of the video, right? Nope. There's one game that culminates.
All right, what have we missed so far? Ohio State, Clemson, 2016. I still think Bama, Ohio State, 2020.
everything we've been talking about today and
Devontae Smith had like 4 touchdowns in the first half of that game.
takes the crown. The textbook example of pooping the bed, Ohio State versus Clemson in the 2016 Fiesta Bowl. Both teams entered at 12-1, and with the Buckeyes facing a tougher schedule, many thought they would have the upper hand in this game, despite Clemson reaching the Natty in the previous season. Ohio State was favored by 3 points and ended up laying down, losing 31-0. Clemson became just the second team in college football history to shut out the Buckeyes in a bowl game.
To this day, I still don't know how
This marked the first time Urban Meyer had been shut out in his coaching career. But above all that, the way it transpired was much worse than what the scoreboard said. Ohio State's defense wasn't horrible. In fact, they forced 2 turnovers, which makes them scoring 0 points even more baffling. The Buckeyes only had 9, which makes them scoring 0 points even
like the whole everything's going on, bro, just over here.
more baffling.
Bro just on the ground, just laying there. Help, get up!
The Buckeyes only had 9 first downs to the Tigers' 26, with 215 yards.
You gotta crib that game. You gotta find a way to crib that one.
Clemson didn't dominate this game from the jump, but instead wore total offense.
Kind of a tough play.
Clemson didn't dominate this game from the jump, but instead
wore down
Ohio State methodically, scoring 10 in the first half and 7 each quarter the rest of the way, which in most cases can be even more agonizing for fans. It's like dying a slow death. Without a doubt, considering expectations, context, and the play on the field, this is the most humiliating performance in college football playoff history. Do you agree with this list? Let me know in the comments.
I think, let's see what the comments talking about. Michigan losing to TCU is not top of the list, I would say. It wasn't super humiliating. It's like, damn, yo, we didn't play that well. But, I mean, TCU was 13-1 that year, so. And, like, Michigan kind of shot themselves in the foot. But I would put Tennessee, Ohio State, I would put it up there. Like, Tennessee definitely came into that game talking greasy. The whole SEC came into the game talking greasy, got blown out. Oregon, Florida State. That game was like kind of close though until like Florida State literally was just an avalanche of like just the worst things happening ever. I'm not seeing any Bama, Ohio State, but yeah, no, I would say Notre Dame had some games too where it's like, yeah, it was pretty embarrassing. But yeah, no, it's a cool video. Definitely nothing new with the playoff games not being close, being lopsided. So I feel like those talking points, we just need to cut them out because teams have been getting blown out forever. But yeah, that's going to do it for the video. Like, share, comment, subscribe. Y'all liked it. Hey, keep tapping in. We're going to blow this channel up. So yeah, keep tuning in. But I'm going to catch y'all next time. Peace. Hey there. If you like that video, don't be afraid to hit the subscribe button. And then follow along on Twitch so you can catch all the live moments as they happen.